Hey, Sokcho is a small coastal city in northeast South Korea, where granite mountain peaks rise directly behind white sand beaches, and the whole thing feels like a place that shouldn't fit together, but absolutely does. 3 days here is enough to hike one of Korea's best national parks, eat food you can't get anywhere else, and still end up on a beach at sunset, if you get the sequence right. I already built out the full 3 day route into a template you can grab, links in the description if you want it. Shoulder season is the move here. April through June or September through November gives you comfortable temps and thinner crowds on the trails. Day 1 is the Mountain Day Seoraksan National Park, a 1,000-year-old temple on the way in, and a granite formation that allegedly fell asleep and never showed up to its own destination. Seoraksan is Korea's first national park. Designated in 1970, dramatic granite spires, dense forest valleys, and trails ranging from flat boardwalks to light-breaking summits, all about 15 minutes from downtown Sokcho. This is probably why you came here. If you skip Seoraksan, you skip the main event. It's consistently ranked among Korea's top 3 national parks by Korean travelers themselves. The catch? Seasonal fire prevention closures block peak trails roughly early March to mid-May and mid-November to mid-December. Check the Korea National Park Service site before you commit to a specific hike. Get here right at opening. Morning light in the valley is softer and more photogenic, and you'll beat the tour bus groups because the cable car tickets sell out fast on busy days. On the way into the park, you pass Sinheungsa, a Buddhist temple complex that's been active here for over 1,000 years, and it's free, because you'd walk through it anyway. The centerpiece is a seated bronze Buddha that's 15 meters tall and 60 tons, sitting in a clearing with granite peaks behind it. The kind of thing you photograph thinking it won't look impressive, and then it really does. Incense drifts through forest air, temple bells ring at intervals, and the shaded path from the gate stays cool even on warm days, a genuinely gentle transition into the park before any real hiking starts. Walk the 10 minutes from the gate to the Buddha before 9 a.m. because by 10:30 this path turns into a bottleneck from every tour group entering the park. Ulsanbawi is a 6-peaked granite formation at the top of an 800-plus stair hike, roughly 3 hours round trip, and the summit view spans the East Sea on one side and Seoraksan's highest peak on the other. Local folklore says this rock formation was supposed to travel south to the city of Ulsan, near Busan, but stopped to rest at Seoraksan and just never left. A mountain that literally ghosted its destination. The final ascent is a metal staircase bolted to granite, and at the top the wind hits hard while the view opens up in every direction. Your legs will absolutely remind you they exist. Bring at least a liter of water per person and start early enough to descend before the trail gets dim, because there's no lighting and those stairs are harder going down than up. Day 2 stays in Seoraksan but shifts gears. A gentle riverside walk to one waterfall, then 900 stairs up a cliff face to stare at another waterfall you can't actually reach. Biryong Falls is a 30-minute flat walk from the park entrance along a mountain stream, the easy Seoraksan experience, no suffering required. The trail follows a clear stream over a shaded, flat path, and honestly the walk might be better than the destination. It's named Flying Dragon after local mountain folklore, which is a nice thought while you stroll. Running water the whole way, mist on the observation deck at the end, and in winter the falls freeze partially into something quietly beautiful. If you're continuing to Towangseong, treat Biryong as your water break, not your destination, because the real climb starts right after this. Past Biryong, the trail turns into roughly 900 metal stairs going straight up a cliff face. At the top, an observation platform gives you a panoramic view of a 3-tier, 320-meter waterfall across the valley. You never actually reach the waterfall, you watch it from a metal balcony bolted to the opposite cliff, which makes it feel enormous and slightly unreal, like nature's IMAX behind glass. You hear the waterfall before you see it, and the observation platform sways just enough in the wind to notice the observatory was specifically built for this view. 900 stairs down is harder on your knees than 900 stairs up, so take the descent seriously and try to avoid weekends when the single-file staircase becomes a traffic jam. Cheongchoho Lake is a calm lake right in central Sokcho with paved walking paths, boat harbors, and a twisted observation tower from a 1999 expo that looks slightly alien lit up at night. After 2 days of granite and stairs, flat ground with mountain views and nearby cafes feels like civilization's greatest achievement. This is your decompression. Evening is the move here because the expo tower lights up in changing colors and the Taebaek mountain silhouettes reflect in the lake at dusk. The lakefront cafes stay open late, so walk the paths past the boat harbors toward the tower and grab something warm. You've earned it. Day 3 trades mountains for coast. A dawn sunrise over the East Sea, North Korean refugee food in narrow alleys, and a beach sunset where the mountains you just climbed fill the horizon behind you. Yeonggeumjeong is a pavilion on a rocky outcrop at the end of a 50-meter bridge over the East Sea Sokcho signature sunrise spot, where waves crash against the rocks and the whole bridge vibrates slightly underfoot. The name references a geomongo, a traditional Korean stringed instrument. Locals say the waves sound like one. Whether you hear the resemblance is debatable, but the wave crash in a quiet dawn is genuinely atmospheric. As the sun comes up, the silhouette of Seoraksan appears behind the city, the mountains you hiked for 2 days, now framed by open ocean and salt air. Check Sokcho's sunrise time the night before and arrive about 20 minutes early because the bridge is narrow and early arrival means a better spot. Abai Village is a neighborhood of narrow alleys and small restaurants settled by North Korean refugees who fled south during the Korean War. Their descendants still run many of the food stalls today. The Bay is a hand-pulled flatbed ferry. You grab a rope and drag yourself across a narrow canal, which takes about 30 seconds and might be the most memorable 30 seconds of your afternoon. Steam rising from food stalls, the smell of boiled pork and broth, and the ferry creaking as you pull yourself across. It's tactile in a way most tourist experiences aren't. Withdraw one before you get here because most vendors are cash only, and try the Abai sundae, a North Korean style blood sausage that's the reason Korean domestic tourists make the trip. Sokcho Beach is where this trip comes full circle. A white sand beach along the East Sea with a pine-lined promenade, and Seoraksan's peaks rising behind the city in the same frame. The sunset here is the real event. Seoraksan's silhouette backlit by golden hour light over the water, the kind of scene that makes you stop walking. This city was part of the DMZ buffer zone until the 1970s, so its transformation into a beach destination is surprisingly recent. The old fishing harbor is still right nearby. Grab a spot along the Pine Promenade as the light drops. You spend 2 days climbing those mountains, and now you're standing on sand looking at them for free. Sokcho packs granite peaks, war history food alleys, and a sunrise over the sea moment into a city small enough to feel knowable in 3 days. That's a rare combination. If you want the full route with all the stops and timing mapped out, I put it in a template, links in the description and the pinned comment. Let me know which stop you'd swap out or what you'd add. Drop it in the comments.